A very beautiful and blessed Thursday indeed. It's another day, a beautiful day that the Lord has made. I'm so excited. I'm so privileged to be back with you once again on this great episode on Africa USA Radio. My name is Naomi Wesi, and the name of the show is Living Precepts. As you know, every Thursday I get to interview great authors from around the world and who are specializing with different stuff that they write about. And today I happen to have one of those authors. It's very rare that I normally interview authors who happen to be poets. So today I have a poet in the house. I have a poet who is going to tell us about herself, about what she does as a poet. And I'm really looking forward to this interview. She goes by the name of Bliss, the poet. I just love the name Bliss. And I'm sure she'll get to tell us more why the name Bliss, whether it's a stage name or whether it's her real name. We'll get to find out just now. Hello, sis. How are you, Bliss?
Hi, Naomi. I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm wonderful. I'm excited to be chatting with you today. Hey, for the very first time, yes, on Africa USA Radio. How are you feeling?
Excited, really. Excited and honored, honestly.
Excited.
Yes.
Excited, but you look nervous. You look very nervous. I know this is your first time, as you mentioned, it's your first interview, radio
Yes.
interview. But I'm telling you, I guarantee you're gonna have a wonderful time. We're gonna have a great time getting to know who you are, getting to know you up close and personal, and what you do as a poet. I'm really interested to get to know much about you today, especially when it comes to poetry, because as I said when I started, it's very rare. I normally interview authors, but in most cases, there are authors who write books about different stuff, not particularly about poetry. So you happen to be
Yes.
one of those interesting, set apart authors who specialize in poetry, and we're gonna. I'm sure our listeners and our viewers will be very fascinated to hear what you do because it's so unique. It's so different. But first, let's start here. I'm sure most of you don't know you, they've never seen you, they've never met you, they don't know much about Bliss the poet. Can you just
Yes.
give us briefly your background? Who is Bliss the poet? And where
Bliss.
do you come from? Where do
Bliss.
you hail from? Who?
Okay. My name is Bliss.
Mm.
I come from a rather small community in the Northwest Province, Macau,
Hmm.
and
Okay.
I'm a, I'm a, I'm a mother of three, a single mother of three beautiful children.
Sure.
And yes, I'm a poet. I'm also an author of children's books, to be specific.
Mm.
And really, my love for poetry, I cannot say it's something I learned on growing up. I believe it's something I was born with because it just comes to me. I don't need to have somebody teach me or tell me what to write about. It just comes naturally out of.
Naturally. Mm.
Yes, I get my motivation, my inspiration from everyday transpirations. It can be me seeing a woman cleaning and then I get to write something about the woman. I can
Mm.
see someone in an unhappy marriage. I've never been married, but I have written a poem on that also. I
Wow.
I I also write on I can write about feelings, we are living in a day and age of GBV, ne? And then we tend to
Mm.
avoid the fact that the gender is not only the women, it's also men. So I can also write about the abuse that men go through and then it never gets recognized or even
Mm.
noticed, if I should
Mm.
put it that way. Yes.
Sure, sure. So would you say you've discovered that you are able to best express yourself through writing poetry? Poetry is that
Yes.
part of you that helps you, express yourself to the world who you really are. You find yourself, being able to do it mostly effectively by writing poetry than just by speaking.
Yes. I believe I
Okay.
express myself better through poetry. I believe if you want to understand who Bliss is and what Bliss has really gone through, then from the book I have written, you can understand where I've been and
Mm,
also where I'm going, honestly, and where I am
okay.
also.
Okay.
So
Okay.
through poetry, then you get to know who Bliss really is.
Who you really are. Who you really are.
Yes.
Now, the name Bliss, is it your real name or is it a stage name? I'm interested where this name comes from because it sounds so interesting.
Well, Bliss, my name, the name that my mother gave me is Bitumelo, and
Okay.
it translates to happiness, and bliss is perfect happiness. If you get to explain bliss is perfect
Mm,
happiness.
wow.
So I gave myself this name. It's a name on my ID now. I registered it two
You
years
you
ago.
actually even
So
included it in your ID.
yes, I did.
That's very interesting.
I went as far
How
as
did you
adding
do
it. So
that?
I went to the home office to change the name,
Wow.
to add the name actually. Yes, I didn't
Yeah.
change specifically. I go by Buitumelo Bliss now.
Okay. Okay. So
So
did
it's
you only
actually
have
the same
one
name.
name? Like on
No,
your
I had
birth
two.
certificate, you had two names,
I had
Bitumelo.
Yes,
Yeah.
Buitumelo Petunia.
Yeah.
So
So you took out
I had
Petunia
to,
and put in
yeah,
Bliss.
yes, I took out Petunia, which was the toughest thing to do because my mom gave me that name. To her, it
I
meant
know,
I'm a
eh?
flower to her. So
Ah.
yeah.
What how did she feel when you took out the name,
Well, she was sad.
Petunia
In the
and
beginning, she
replaced it
was
with
sad.
Bliss?
And
Mm.
yeah, she was sad, but I sat down with her and I explained, this is who I want to be right now. I don't want to be a
Mm.
flower, I just want to be happy. So,
But a flower is not that bad. I mean, Bliss, really?
but a
You
flower
don't want to be a
dies,
flower?
happiness doesn't die, a flower dies.
Oh, okay. I love that analogy.
Yes. I
So
want to live on.
flowers
Happiness
die,
lives
but
on. Flowers
happiness.
dies. Happiness lives on. Yes.
Oh my
So I'm
goodness.
actually using the same name in different languages.
Oh, I
Bitumelo Bliss.
see.
Yes.
We develop now. I understand where this thing comes from, and it's actually
Yes.
very profound. Hey, I never even thought that the name Witumelo, when you translate it to English, it's bliss. It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's really, really
Only more
beautiful.
perfect.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But is your mother now in good? You and your mother in good terms about the name?
Yes, she understands now why the whole reason behind me changing my other name. We are okay now. Yes.
Okay. And how long ago was that when you changed the name?
Um, I think I applied in 2021 and then it's changed last year around March. So since March last year, I've been going by the name Sweet Mellow Bliss.
I find it very interesting. Very, very interesting. And to me, you'll tell me if I'm wrong, but it sounds to me like when you changed the name, maybe you were also in a quest of really discovering who you really are as a
Yes,
person,
finding
finding
myself,
yourself. Yeah.
be, becoming who I really want to be. Because with poetry, I've been writing like for so many years, and I've also lost about I think 60 poems. Because with poetry you can write, but then you can
Mm.
like memorize everything. So if I'm going to perform, I have to like learn the piece. So the
Yeah.
60 poems I've lost were supposed to be part of my book. The book that I'm publishing now was
Ooh.
supposed to be the second. So it's the
You
first
lost
because of
60 poems.
60 poems, yes.
Yo.
Yeah, the
And you can't rewrite them again.
you can't, I would beat myself up trying to like think. I'd get like flashes of what I wrote about, but then I would
Yeah.
never get the full thing that I wrote. And it was a
Yo.
very emotional time. I felt
But
like I lost a
how did
part of
that
myself.
happen though? How did you lose that?
It's the funniest thing. My brother was getting married, so I wanted to take videos, ne? So I was trying to
Mm.
free up space on my phone, and
Yeah.
unaware, I deleted the folder that consisted of the poems, and it was
Ay.
not backed up. So yeah,
Ooh, you see the importance of having a backup.
I,
You lose
ever
the
since
most valuable
I'm
things,
backing up everything. Yeah. I
I
even
feel
write
you.
on a notepad in case something technical happens.
Oh,
So
I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. But you know what? Going back to the journey of your discovery of who you are, I find it interesting that you said when you changed your name to Bliss, you were in your journey of discovering and finding who you really are. Who would you
yes.
say Bliss is now? How have you discovered yourself? How would you say, which space are you at now? Who are you really at this time?
At this time, Bliss is a very good poet. Even if I have to say so myself. Right
Yeah.
now, all I want to do is I want to share my poetry. I've even started to perform at events. I performed at one last year. I'll be performing
Mm.
at one on Saturday also on at this GBV event. So I'm
Okay.
performing two pieces. The first one is for
Mm.
women and the other one is for the men. So
Wow.
I
Powerful
believe
stuff.
I'm a motivator per se
You're a
through
motivator.
spoken word. Yes, through spoken word. I believe I can, much
Yeah,
as I have found
that's
healing through
powerful.
poetry, I can also heal other people through my work, honestly.
Poetry. Wow. What
Yes.
a profound discovery that is. Very, very, very profound. And I'm sure you're content, you're fulfilled at the space that you're at now.
Yo, the excitement that I get even when I listen to my pieces, the excitement I
Mm.
get, it's it's fulfilling actually. And
Yeah.
also when I get to write a piece, and each time I write, the pieces are so powerful. And I believe this is who I am. This is what I
Yeah.
have to do.
Yeah.
Is
This is how you want to be branded. This is how you want the
is
world to see you, right?
is as a poet is
And would you say through poetry, you've somehow connected with your purpose?
100%.
Mm, mm.
100% is
It fulfills you to the core.
is it
Do you see?
it gives me a sense
Yeah.
of purpose, honestly.
Okay.
Is
Sure. Sure. Wow. Nothing fulfills you except that.
well, being a mom also.
Yeah. You find bliss in being a mom.
In being a mother, honestly, yes, my
Mm.
kids are like the world to me.
How many kids did you say you have again?
I have three,
Three
three
kids.
beautiful kids. Yes,
Sure. Sure.
a
Wow.
single mother too.
So not only have you found your purpose in poetry, but you've also found your purpose in being a mother.
Yes, you know, my kids are my anchor. And I
Wow.
feel like
Wow.
without them, I wouldn't have been as strong as I am. I'm
Mm,
sorry.
mm, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And not many young women your age get a sense of pride actually in having kids, in being a mother. Most of them, they don't
Yeah,
even, they wish they did not have kids at this age or something, you know.
yeah,
But for you to find pride in your age with three kids and say, I'm finding purpose in being a mother. It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely
yeah,
profound. Yeah. And I believe that you can also serve as a role model to other young mothers, young women your age
yes,
who have kids, that you can find pride even in your own children. You know,
yes.
you don't have to feel ashamed. You don't have to feel awkward at your age when you have kids. Are a blessing from the Lord.
A
Kids
very
are a
beautiful
blessing.
blessing.
Yes,
Yes,
and when God gives you kids, it's for a purpose. You know, it's purpose
mm,
driven. So I believe that
yes,
also those kids serve a bigger purpose than you even realize in your life. You know.
yes.
So Bliss, let's go through your journey of becoming a poet. Where did all this start?
Sure, it's many years back. I think I read my first poem when I was in grade five.
Mm,
Yes, and it was titled By Myself, the poem.
by myself.
Is I'm not sure
Wow.
about the author,
Why
but
that
it was a
title?
very, I don't know, it was not my piece, it was somebody else's. I
Oh,
read it
okay.
when I
You didn't
was
write
in
it.
grade five.
You were just
Yes.
reciting it.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Mm.
my first poem, funny, was in grade 10, the first one that I wrote. It was about a
Mm.
snake, actually. We were given a topic.
A
Yes,
snake.
and a snake, yeah, it was a topic in class, and I came out the top. Is and
Wow.
yeah, and it was a year
Wow.
later when I was in grade 11 that I started writing. I wrote my second poem. Also, it was a first. It was for school. It was a project. It came out first.
Mm.
It was dedicated to my mother. I still have the
Sure.
piece. I have it
Okay.
in Tswana and in English also. It's a beautiful
Mm.
piece.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful.
yes,
Wow.
and I've been writing since, honestly. But
How did your
strangely
mother
with
feel
me,
like? I'm wondering how did your mother feel like, you writing a poem for her?
she was happy because
She
I
was.
presented it to her on her birthday on the year
Mm.
2011 is,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's been with me and it's been with her since.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, but the I don't know if I should say weird or craziest thing with me is I don't just write. I could go for like 3 months without even writing a single piece. And then
Mhm.
I see something, it touches me, it motivates me. I'm like, immediately, like, give me a notepad. I have to put this down. And
Oh,
yeah, and then
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
writing very powerful pieces.
So you have to wait
So,
for inspiration for you to write
yes.
something.
Yeah. And it can
Mm.
like come like 10 pieces in one week, and then I'll be writing 10 poems in one week, and then I'd go for 6 months without writing. So it's crazy.
Oh my,
It's crazy,
that's
is
crazy.
because
Yeah.
I'm working on my second book, but I've only written like 11 pieces for the second book.
Sure.
The first one
Sure.
has like fifty pieces. It's titled
Mm.
Feelings because it relays the all the different types of emotions that I've went through, the motivations and inspirations. So yeah,
Mm.
it's a
Mm.
beautiful, beautiful book.
What inspires you?
Like I said, I draw inspiration from like everyday transpiration. It can be anything. I can write about maybe if someone has a miscarriage, I can, like, it's more like of an empathetic thing. I can feel what that person is feeling, then I'm able to write about that thing. So that's
Hmm.
where I draw my motivation from my
Mm.
surroundings. Mostly. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Is there any particular person or a particular poet that you look up to as an inspiration?
Honestly, no.
Yo, none.
Is none.
So this thing is actually intrinsic. It's just something that has been birthed in you without you
It's
even
in
seeing
me.
anyone
It's who
have
I
done it
am.
before.
Yes, it's bliss.
Wow.
It's a part of bliss.
Hey. Wow, this is interesting. But growing up, when you were still maybe let's say a little girl growing up, did you envision yourself taking this path, becoming a poet? Or did you have other dreams maybe that you saw yourself fulfilling apart from being a poet?
Well, when I grew up, I spent a lot of time alone. I wasn't such a much of a social person, but I've
Mm.
always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I've wanted
Oh,
to
that's
be,
great.
yes, I've
And
always been against
little
it.
did you know that your motivation was going to come through poetry,
Yes,
was going
yes,
to express itself through the platform of poetry.
poetry. Yes.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to help the needy. I've always wanted to like change the lives of little girls, honestly. And as I grew,
Mm,
I also wanted to change the lives of boys because nobody really like pays heed to the struggles of boy children.
sure.
So
Mm,
yes, with the two, I've written two educational books. The other one is for girls, obviously, and the other one is
mm,
for boys and girls also.
sure.
Yes.
Okay. And these motivational books, when did you write them?
I completed them last year. I
Mm,
started in, I think it's the year 2020. Yes, when my
okay.
daughter, she's turning 11 soon. She
Mm,
started her period when she was 7, going on 8, a very
yes.
young age.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and that motivated me to actually write a book for those little girls who, with me, it was simple because I was able to sit her down and explain to her, or, you know what, my baby, this is what is going on with you. And luckily for me, she was very open and understanding. And you
Mm,
find that in primary schools, they will only start teaching young girls about menstruation when they go to grade 7. Grade
sure.
1
Yeah.
until grade 6, it's life skills. They don't include such topics, and it
Mm,
becomes life orientation in grade 7.
mhm.
So with the book, I just want to teach, those young girls whom like will never receive the support from home. Because with me, also when I started my period, the only teaching I got was like, you see, now your periods have started. You must stay away from boys. Nobody taught me how to put on a pad or
If
what to
boys touch you, you're gonna have a baby.
Yes, yes. I
And
wasn't
they won't even
exactly
explain to you how that's gonna happen.
how, yes. I
I
wasn't
hear
taught like
you.
how
Yeah.
to put on a period, what to expect when you're on your period, like things like cravings, period pains, and so those are the things I've included in the book. It's titled My Blissful Period.
What? What's the title? What's the title of
my
the book?
blissful my blissful period.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yes,
Wow.
the
Sure.
motivation was thrown from the early start of menstruation that my daughter had experienced.
Hmm.
So yeah. So she's grown now. She doesn't even tell me when her period has started. It's just like why did you not tell mommy that the period has come? And she's like, ah, I'm used to it by now, mommy. It's
No,
okay. So yeah.
you've given her a great foundation. You've taught her
Yes,
well.
hence
I
the
mean,
book.
yes, yes. You know, I just
Mhm.
love how you think. I love your mind. I just not many people can think of writing something like that. You know, an educational
Yes.
book for girls.
Mhm.
That's quite
Yes.
profound, you know. And let me tell you, I can relate to what you're saying because I remember me as well growing up. I was never comfortable talking to my mom about such things. You know, we grow up
Yes.
in a culture where some things are like a taboo, and
Mm.
we grow up not having such open conversations with our
Yes.
parents. You know, we don't feel
Because
comfortable
even
talking about
to
those things. Mm.
yes,
So,
even to
so
this day, some parents are not comfortable
even
like discussing
today, yeah,
such
not just during
things.
that time, you know, when we were growing
Mm.
up, but even today, I think we still have, I believe we still have, you know, that culture prevailing, especially in our African culture where you can't just sit down your kids and say, now I'm, you know, let me tell you how this thing is happening. You end up hearing it
Yes.
outside, being educated by outsiders, or maybe have to wait to be taught at school, you know,
Yes.
when
Mm.
it's even better. I think it's more blissful if you are taught by your very, you see now, this thing is rubbing on me.
Yes.
When you are taught by your very own parent about this thing, you become more comfortable. And when you start talking
Yes.
about such things as, you know, periods, menstruation, and all that, it becomes even a foundation, a good foundation for your kids to open up with everything else, their
Yes.
sex life, you know, their
Mm. Yes.
relationships and all that. But if you never talk about those things, how will they be comfortable even relating with you on that level?
Yes.
You see?
Exactly.
So
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. You've laid a very good foundation for your daughter, and for you to
Yes.
extend it even on a book, writing a book on it so that even other girls can benefit from it. I mean, what more can we ask for, really? You know. So
Yes.
I mean, you are incredible. You are amazing. You are really incredible
Thank
for
you.
you to come up with such an initiative. And how is the book doing now?
The book is it's complete. Just it's on a pause actually because I wanted
Mm.
to actually turn the book. It's not published yet or even
Yes.
printed.
Okay.
I wanted
Sure.
to turn a book into some sort of literacy project, not just hand
Mm.
over the book to kids, but also relay the education to the kids, like start at local
Mm.
schools and then potentially move countrywide even.
Right. What a
Yes,
vision.
as
What
a
a
as a
vision.
literacy project, yes.
Sure, sure. But where are you now in the process? Are you getting any support? Are you getting any help through this initiative?
Honestly, hence I'm saying the book is on a pause because I don't have anyone to
Hmm.
like assist in such a regard. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I'm focusing on the book of poems because hopefully I'll be launching the book in June.
Okay. So can you repeat that again because you froze a bit when you were explaining about where you are, the process that you are with the book. Are you getting any support? Are you getting any maybe
And
funding?
none
Not yet.
none at all. Yes, I've
None
sourced
at
but
all.
nobody comes to the party. Yes.
Mm. And even arts, like maybe, getting funding from the government. Have you applied for from such platforms?
Yes, I've applied with the arts and culture for the book of poetry, and then when I was telling them about the literacy project idea, they told me to put it on hold and focus on one project because they cannot fund multiple projects at a time.
I hear you. I
Yes.
see. I see. So you've put it on hold now, that one.
I wish I didn't have to, but because of the lack of funding, yes, I've had to put it on hold.
Mm, mm.
Mm.
But listen, don't give up on that project. It's a powerful project. It's such a powerful project.
Yes,
I believe that, you know, somehow if it gets to the ears of the right people, they would be willing to fund
yes,
that project. It's a very powerful project. It's a very profound project. And you never know, maybe somebody is listening right now and they may be
yes,
interested, in funding something like that. So you never know how these things work, how God works. So just
yes,
keep on believing, keep on trusting God and believing in your work, because if you
yes.
don't believe in your work, nobody will. If you
Nobody
keep,
else will.
nobody will.
Yes,
Yeah, you must believe in your vision first, then others will come and rally around it to support it.
yes,
So I
yes,
definitely believe in what you're doing, and I think it's gonna add a lot of value to our society, especially our girls. You've just brought
yes,
a very, very powerful initiative, and I believe if somebody is listening out there who is interested in this kind of project, they may want to hook up with you and see how they can assist you to take it to the next level, even to get funding
yes,
for it to just go nationwide, or see how they can maximize it, because such
yes.
things are valuable. You can't just sit with something like that. It's too
Mm,
powerful. And then you also talked
yes,
about, you said two educational books, the one for girls, the one
yes.
for boys. For the boys, what's happening there? What is the
It's
book about?
the other one is for both boys and girls. It's on personal hygiene.
Okay, it's for both.
Yes, how
All right.
boys and girls can really take care of themselves hygienically, as they grow,
Mm,
like teach them from a very young age on how to take care of their bodies and what to
mm.
do and what not to do also. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Powerful stuff. So you are more passionate about educational books,
Yes.
writing educational books, and writing motivational poetry.
Motivation. Yes.
That's who you are.
Yes.
That's how we can best describe your work,
Yes.
if we want to describe who Bliss is, right? Bliss the
Yes.
poet and the author.
Yes.
Now, in the few minutes that we are left with, let's talk also then about your poetry book. You're busy with the poetry
Yes.
book as well. Tell us more about that.
Um, the book it's complete. I'm just
It's
now I'm
completed.
working with yes, I'm working with a local graphic designer where where I'm from in Macau.
Mm.
He's a very, very, very good artist. So he's drawing pieces for every single poem that I've written because when I publish, I want every book to have a design on the side, to relay what the
Sure.
piece is about. Yes. So
Mm.
so far he's doing a very wonderful job and I'm
Wow.
grateful that he's the one working on the design of the book.
Sure. How did you
Yes.
get to
And
hook up
then
with this person, and how were you able to connect? How was he able to connect with your vision? I mean, you know.
I met I met him through a primary school friend. I actually wanted to get a tattoo done.
Mm.
So he did my tattoo and then I got his numbers. Obviously, when he posts something on WhatsApp, I see it. So I was like, you know what? The art that you have is very unique. He uses charcoal actually to draw. So
Charcoal.
his pieces are, yes, he draws on paper with charcoal and his pieces are very beautiful. So
Now,
yeah, I,
charcoal on paper. How does it
yes.
sit? Does it really?
Honestly, I've never seen him working. He just sends me the pieces, but he told me that he uses charcoal, and I'm telling you, the pieces are beautiful.
And it doesn't smear
And
all over the paper.
no, He's an artist. So so he's
Wow.
yeah.
Things that people can do these days. I can't wait to see that
Yes.
book that is that you know that, that has charcoal on it. You know, that's where the art
No,
is
on
being done through charcoal.
the originals I'll be keeping. They won't be going to the book because he uses a much bigger page, and then
Yeah.
the book size will obviously be smaller. Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. That is gonna be very interesting. Very. And you said how many pieces have you written on that book? On that
The
poetry
it's
book?
50. Yeah, it's
50.
50 poems. Yes.
50 poems. Wow,
Yes.
completed. And you said,
Completed.
yeah, they are motivational. Describe for us what all those poems, what should people be expecting out of that book?
Well, in the book you'll find hey, I've written for my mother. Well, obviously,
Yeah,
I've gone through a few heartbreaks, so I've written about love and heartbreak, and
sure.
I've written a lot on gender-based violence, and yeah, and also for my
Mm,
kids and many people I've come across on the streets. I remember writing this piece about this woman who was cleaning when I was working at the hospital. That woman was always tired, and she was
yeah.
cleaning this open area, and people just walked by, without giving any care to her work, and it touched me, and I wrote a piece on that. It was titled Cleaner Lady. It's a very beautiful piece. Yes.
Mm. So it's a
And it was
compilation
in,
of different pieces with the
yeah,
different
and
experiences.
yes, hence I titled the book Feelings, because it speaks of different feelings, that I've went through,
Mm,
that I've, like actually connected with people who have gone through certain experiences. So I wrote about
mm,
such things in the book. Yes.
mm. And what are you hoping people to receive out of that book? What are you hoping to accomplish through that poetry book?
Well, the main aim is to honestly motivate, and
Mm,
yeah, there'll be a bit of laughing there and then, crying, and then because when I have my friends listen to some of my pieces, they become so emotional, and
mm,
yeah, so
mm,
it's a
mm.
roller coaster of feelings
Of
actually in the book.
emotions.
So,
Yeah,
of
yeah,
emotions,
yeah.
yes.
Sure, sure, sure. Wow, that's so interesting. And when are we hoping for this book to come out? When should we be
Hopefully,
expecting it?
hopefully in June.
In June.
Because I'm waiting to hear from the arts and culture department as to whether they'll be funding me for printing and publishing, and
Mm,
the launch
mm.
will take place in June. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And how are you planning to market it? How are you planning to get the book to reach your audience or the people, the target market that you are hoping to
Well,
reach?
um, with publishing, I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a good publisher that will be able to advertise the book like online, and
Mm,
with interviews like this, and also with my performances, the one that I'll be doing
mm,
on Saturday. I'm hoping that I will be able to get audience and people who are interested in the book to like
mm.
really be able to attend the book launch, and
Okay, sure,
hopefully
sure.
be able to buy the book. Yes.
Mm. And like you just said, you also do um spoken poetry, through
Yes.
events.
Yes.
How has it been? How has that transpired? How is it doing for you?
This one is my second one actually, and the first one was beautiful.
Is it?
The
Oh, this
first
will be
one
the second
was,
one.
yeah, this will be the second performance. The first one was
Okay.
like, it was an experience which said to me, Bliss, you are born for this. So keep doing
I
this.
Wow, listen to that. Oh my God. So you
So
felt like you were
yes,
in your own, I don't know how I can, you're just in your element, in your element.
yes,
And,
I
you
was
know,
doing, like I remember writing this piece titled "This Is My Calling," and it says like a doctor determined to save lives. This is my
mm,
calling. Like a
wow.
teacher instilling knowledge. This is my calling. So I felt like I was doing my thing, at the time. So
Right,
yes,
when man. I can imagine. So it was like
yes,
in a way, God was putting a stamp, endorsing
yes,
that this is
yes.
what you're born for. This is it, girl.
I
Run
always
with it.
say, yes, I always say this is what I was ordained to do. I'm the
I love it.
I'm
Mm.
the minister of poetry. Like poetry is my ministry.
Listen to you. Wow. Can you say that again?
I, I'm the minister of poetry. Like poetry is my ministry. Honestly, I preach poetry. Yes,
Wow. That's very profound. It's your calling. It's what you are
yes,
called to do.
it's what I'm called to
Mm.
do. Honestly, yes,
Yeah. No, I just absolutely love how you have embraced your calling, your ministry into poetry. I
yes,
just love it.
yes,
You know, it you can't even go wrong. You can tell that you are called for this by how you are expressing it, by the way you are saying
thank
it.
you.
You know, you can tell that this is really, really, really your calling, and you are born for this. You know, and I
Yes,
believe God is going to
yes,
take you places and open even more doors for you.
more
Where are you
doors.
hoping to
Yes.
see yourself? What are your future prospects with poetry?
Honestly, I dream big. I see myself performing internationally, even like motivating
Wow.
each and everyone. Yes. And having like people relate because I also write like in multiple languages. So you find that
Wow.
you
Good.
lost
Great
me the
stuff.
bit, ne?
Yeah, just a bit. Yeah. But I heard you. You said you write in multiple languages.
Yes. So I want to bring this out of South Africa, take it internationally even.
Okay. What other languages, like within those multiple languages, which languages do you write poetry on?
A lot of time is in English and Setswana and
Mm,
also Zulu and Setswana. I mix the two languages in one piece, and it becomes so
okay.
beautiful and
Wow. Never heard
exciting
of
to
anything like
relay.
that. Yeah. I'd love to
Yes.
hear it. Now, lastly, as we close, do you mind reciting one poet for us? One poem
Okay.
for us?
Okay. Hopefully the you will not cut me the
Yeah.
internet because there's load shedding. This one I'll be performing on Saturday, so
Okay. Okay.
it's
Okay.
it's titled Self-Respect.
Mm. Take it away.
Self-respect.
Take it
Yes.
away.
Self-respect. The day I cooped up courage to stand up from the table at which respect was not being served was the day I realized the meaning of my name, Bliss. The chairs on which I sat were cushioned quite comfortably that I was convinced I was sitting at the right table. The cutlery was made out of gold, or at least I thought so, until on the day I stood up, I realized that the cutlery was actually gold plated. Barry Usibonito Laboratory. The table itself was made out of glass. See through, I could actually see through what was happening beneath the table, but I chose to ignore it. Akere Barry, ignorance is bliss. Oh, Bliss was ignorant, surely. Lina Lebisiromo. I watched, I observed as I sat on the opposite side, the receiving end, the lies, the deceit, the betrayal, the abuse, misuse, disuse, the disrespect. or it all looked like your traditional seven-colored Sunday lunch without the colors, without the oil and the seasoning. Go sa jege, until it hit me. No, man. I know how to cook. I don't eat with my eyes. And that's when I decided to stand up from the table at which respect was not being served and began to set my own. Thank you.
My goodness. Wow, you go, girl. That was powerful. That was so
Thank you.
awesome. Wow, you're gifted. Let me tell you, you're gifted. That's
Thank
your
you so
thing
much.
right there. That's your thing. Run with it, girl. Run with it.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
No, we're looking forward to hearing more from your gift, from your talent as a poet, and looking forward even for that book, that book that you're about to
Yes,
publish. And I believe that it's not just the only book; more books are still going to come
definitely.
from
Definitely. Yes.
you, because you've discovered your calling, you've discovered your ministry, and at
Yes.
your age, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, so much more
Yes.
possibilities for you that are on the way. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best, and I pray that God opens even more doors for you. As you say, you see yourself international. I pray that the international market will also get to hear this voice, will get to hear
Yes.
these poems that you'll be writing. And I believe that, you know what, with God nothing is impossible. Nothing is
Yes.
impossible. So tell our
Definitely.
listeners and our viewers, which platforms would you like to be invited in? Are you open for bookings? If they want to get hold of you, where can they reach you?
Yes, I'm open. I'm open for booking. You can get me on WhatsApp. Can I quote my number,
Sure,
my cell
sure.
phone number? It's 073 456 6600. That's for WhatsApp. And on Instagram, it's IMBBM. Yes, that's where
Okay,
they can get a
sure.
hold of me. Yes.
Wow,
And yeah, I'm
awesome,
available,
awesome.
very much available for booking, especially on the GBV events. I have so much passion for such events.
Okay, for gender-based violence.
Yes, yes,
Okay, all right, no problem. No, I'm sure they are listening. I'm sure they've heard you. If somebody wants to book you, they'll just hit you up and then call you or WhatsApp you, send you a WhatsApp to
yes,
book you. All the best with your career. It's been such a pleasure chatting with you. And I trust that this is not the last time.
yes. I trust so too. Thank you so much for having me. This has been wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah, I told
much.
you you're gonna enjoy this, right?
Yes, and I
You
did.
see, right? Yeah,
100%. Yes,
it's been amazing. It's been absolutely
it's been
amazing. And I
wonderful.
look forward to
Yes,
having you again when this book is published and it's out so that we can talk more about it. Eh? Make sure you let
yes,
us know when it's out.
definitely I will.
Thank you so much. Well, there you
Thank you
have
so
it.
much.
There you have it. That was Bliss, the poet and the author. What a woman. What a great woman indeed. A power-packed woman. Very talented, very gifted. And I'm sure that you'll be checking her out, especially booking her for whatever events that you have. If you need somebody to come and do poetry on your events, especially gender-based violence, she's available for booking. So make sure that you contact her so that you can book her. And she's also having her book published soon, and we'll let you know as soon as it's out. And I'm sure you'll see it even on all the available platforms that she'll be marketing it on. That's all we have for you today. Until next time, from me, Naomi Wesi, may the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you. May He cause His face to shine upon you and give you peace till we meet again, same time, same place, right here on Africa USA Radio. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.